In the opening match between NRG and Koi in the 2023 Sao Paulo opening tournament, we've basically saw high-tier ranked play in professional setting. No teams knew anything about the other, so anti-strat books were thrown out the window. Starting off, NRG is attempting to fight for mid control. This is good, since it'll give them early information as to where their defenders could be going. By doing this, they control the map's rotations, and since they have 4 players mid, if Koi decided to push mid, that fight will be pretty even. The NRG agents playing mid are KO, Sage, Silva, and Killjoy. The NRG Viper is playing on the B bomb site since he has the ability to delay the enemies with smart utility usage. The NRG Killjoy is on the A side of Boiler since he needs to stay close to his utility in case Koi decides on an A push. NRG's Silva is playing on top of Boiler since he can provide his team with tons of value with his recon dart, drone, and shock darts. This is the best spot to deploy his utility. He can also watch the mid cross to make sure it's safe for the NRG KO and Sage to be able to push down mid as long as Koi's Viper doesn't smoke off his vision mid. The NRG Sage and KO are playing kitchen. They plan on pushing down the tube for early map control over mid. They're the leaders in the push since KO can go for aggressive flashes if he needs to, and Sage in a lot of situations can be an aggressive role. Her utility will allow NRG to stop the enemies from pushing certain parts of the map. If NRG's KO and Sage die, it would be tragic, but it wouldn't ruin NRG's defense. If NRG's Killjoy or even Silva dies, that would be a much greater loss, since the utility they offer would be lost.
Just to lose.
I literally was about to get to there, really. Koi have the potential to cause a real upset here.
But proactive beginnings. I love this mid-walk coming out. The knife did connect as well, so a little bit of information, but do they expect an actual bit of presence off the back?
The 4 NRG players push down mid, then makes contact with Koi's Killjoy's turret. They shoot the turret and decide to fall back since they did not get into any gunfights mid. Their plan was to team up against the enemy players, hoping to catch at least 1 or 2 mid, and win the fight by playing with the numbers advantage. As I said before, if they were to have met the entire Koi team, this wouldn't have been bad since it would have likely ended up in even trades. So in your ranked matches, stop taking space alone. Don't be afraid to take 1 or 2 of your teammates to take the space on the map. As this is happening, 3 of Koi's players decide to slowly walk up through B main. Here, they are playing contact, which is the act of not making noise until contact with the enemy has been made. Contact being spotting an enemy or the enemy spotting you. Koi's Viper is holding mid while staying fairly close to her teammates walking up B main. Koi's Killjoy is keeping A main and somewhat of mid control, just in case Koi decides to change their plans and push the A site.
They will be warded away for now, so they are going to have to somewhat reset here.
Yeah, interesting that they follow through on that. Obviously, Shados' position key in terms of shutting that down, but already a heavy lean towards B here for NRG.
Full faith in the singular player of FNS to kind of lock down that A site.
4 of NRG's players are now on B, which was an amazing read by NRG. The NRG Killjoy is still around A site just to make sure Koi is not able to sneak up A site or mid. The first player to break the silence was NRG's KO as he flashes right when NRG's Viper's orb expires. The B main players on Koi are at a huge disadvantage since they are within a very tight choke point while NRG is spread out in open space, able to be more flexible in the angles they hold and peek. Koi is also at a man disadvantage, making the situation a 4 versus 3 gunfight.
Feels no pressure yet, so he's just fine. And they're going looking crash. He's getting curious, and the swing on the corner. Perfect. Wolf on 1, trade down, back and forth. Trex stands for 2, but quickly.
These were all 1-for-1 trades. If Koi had 4 players fighting B main, then I believe the situation would have been more fair, allowing both teams to have 2 players remaining. Instead, NRG only lost Silva and Sage while Koi lost all 3 B main players. This all started when NRG's Silva decided to peek into B main. The only reason why this was an acceptable peek by NRG's Silva is that he had teammates right next to him that fought with him to trade him out. If he was alone, he would not have peeked this. NRG Silva kills Koi's Jet, and then from here, it becomes a trading war.
Goes down, and it looks like NRG want to send a message early.
And the timing on that was perfect. The flash comes through just as the orb drops from Som. See, Victor got to be careful here. The wide swing, Coldamentor isolates the first, but Som good for the trade.
Shados, come on.
Here, it wasn't very necessary for NRG to peek from yellow, but by doing this, they were able to eliminate Koi's Viper. NRG's KO only has 11 health left, and NRG's Viper has full health. Notice how NRG's KO swung wide, being the bait as he only had 11 health. And Viper swung close, staying close to cover, so he may go back into cover after getting the trade for his KO. In this situation, if they get into a fight, it's a guaranteed death for KO, but worst case scenario for NRG is that the fight would have been a 2 versus 2, or at best, a 2 versus 1 gunfight. After eliminating Koi's Viper, NRG's Viper missed his shots on the Koi's Killjoy, so this 3 versus 2 situation turned into a 1 versus 1, giving us an ultimate Killjoy battle in the first round of the entire tournament.
Response, it's a Killjoy 1v1 here.
It's your dream come true, Mike. Ultimately, the timer going to be coming up now. Spike is safe to get back in hand. That's fine. 35 seconds. Going to secure the flank, make sure nothing's there. He has no idea where FNS is for now. So he's going to try and play it smart and play it safe, but a fight is inevitable. And the angle for FNS...
How deep does he clear on site here, though?
That's the question, isn't it? A quick glance, and the shot's good, Shados!
Koi's Killjoy checks off all safety measures since he has no idea where NRG's Killjoy is. Once Koi's Killjoy secures the flank, he starts to make his way on site very carefully. The path Koi's Killjoy takes to clear sight is as safe as possible since this allows him to position himself only to be exposed to what's directly in front of him. NRG's Killjoy could have had way better positioning here, but sadly he decided to stand in the open slightly behind the ropes leading up to Nest. NRG's Killjoy could have played behind the cover behind him holding a pixel angle. This would have allowed the NRG's Killjoy to kill more time since Koi's Killjoy needed to either eliminate the NRG Killjoy or plant the spike. By doing this, the NRG's Killjoy could have closed space between him and Koi's Killjoy, giving him a better chance at winning the round. This would have given him a better chance of winning this gunfight since NRG's Killjoy had a classic and Koi's Killjoy had a ghost. At the distance they took the gunfight, Koi's Killjoy had the gun advantage since the ghost is better for longer distances. And just like that, with a slither of health left, Koi wins the first round of the tournament. Many of you don't know how to study professional matches in order to improve your own skills. This is exactly how, my friends. We learned from this round alone why certain players go ahead of others while taking space, how to take space as a team, and what to do with certain information that is given to you, and finally, how to put yourself in the best odds of winning a clutch. I'm glad you've learned a lot and expect more content like this in the future. But as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, deuce everyone, and subscribe because you know you want to.